It took effort to stay positive. A palpable sadness blanketed America throughout 2020 and 2021. Nearing 1 million deaths, so many were mourning the loss of loved ones to COVID. Funeral homes struggled to cope with the backlog. And to protect people's safety, in-person funeral services stopped, leaving many to grieve without closure. The loss of jobs and livelihoods due to the pandemic meant long lines at food banks and pantries. Social distancing meant no gatherings on Thanksgiving and Christmas. The brutal murder of George Floyd by a cop who knelt on his neck for 9 minutes in Minneapolis ignited nationwide protests. In many cities, the unrest led to violence. A white teenage boy was declared not guilty after shooting and killing 2 people and injuring a third during a protest in Kenosha, where another white cop murdered another black man. This followed by the 2020 elections, followed by the Capitol insurrection led by Trump supporters who could not accept that Biden won the presidency, followed by the mass shooting of 6 Asian women in Atlanta, divided an already deeply polarized nation in the throes of police brutality and racial injustice. Gun violence reached its highest records, highlighting America's lunatic relationship with guns and the tragedy of children having access to guns. In May 2020, my daughter and I marched with Black Lives Matter in Cleveland, holding our homemade signs that read, "Justice for George Floyd" and "I can't breathe," Floyd's last words. The phrase had become BLM's slogan after it was uttered by Eric Garner and multiple other black victims murdered under similar police encounters. We marched from the Free Stamp to the Justice Center, then downtown, then back to the Justice Center again, holding our fists and shouting, "No justice, no peace. Hands up, don't shoot. I can't breathe. I can't breathe." Thousands of protesters, tremendous pain and anger pushing us forward. Tears running down our faces as the names of black victims murdered by the police were called out in terrible long lists. Little did we know that exactly 2 years later, we'd all march again in May 2022 at the same spot, but this time for abortion rights. Unlike the Black Lives Matter march, the March for Abortion Rights had a sense of panic. We weren't bent with pain, trying to comprehend the injustice and loss. Heads hanging low in bereavement, mouths muffled with face masks, holding up signs in mainly black and white words. No, we were burning with righteous, indignant rage. We suddenly saw the wolf that had all along dressed in sheep's clothing and walked among us, was only biding its time, and finally felt safe enough, centered enough, powerful enough to snarl. Our signs had blood on them. Gruesome coat hangers drenched in blood read, "Never again." Angry vaginas with shark teeth and cat claws cried, "This pussy bites back." Uteruses with erect middle fingers yelled, "Hands off our bodies." All the loud reds, blues, pinks, greens, and yellows merged to better shout our fury. When 2 men from the church holding crucifixes and signs that read, "Abortion is sin, and God will not forgive you," came towards us, meaning to hijack our protest, we bared our teeth at them. We hissed and roared, "Fuck God! Go back to your church! Fuck off! Leave!" When one of them said in his megaphone, "Sex out of wedlock is sin," a woman let out a deafening scream, "Then cut off your fucking dick!" Remember this, I said to myself. Remember this rage. Hold on to it. It is necessary to hold on to. I want to remember how it feels in my body right now. Blood boiling in my veins, thrumming in my ears, savage swear words clamoring in my chest, a violent thumping in my head, the metallic taste of my scraped throat, where my voice went hoarse, repeating after the women leading the march, "We are never going back, we are never going back, my body, my choice, my body, my choice." Show me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Show me what community looks like. This is what community looks like. Show me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Show me what community looks like.